Yes, hello, my friends and family on Facebook and other places. This is Richard, your internet friend here from my office here at Madhouse Central, Port of Spain in Trinidad. Yes, I know that you have noticed that I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos or no videos for a while. It's not that I'm out of the business of doing videos for my Facebook page here. It's just that a whole lot has been going on and a lot of information has been coming in. Sometimes information has been flooding in on different subjects, and before I can get the word out, it's already gone viral or whatever the case may be. It's no longer relevant. But one thing for sure is that there are some pretty disturbing events that are developing here in Trinidad and Tobago. If we have been following the recent news and the recent news feeds, we would see that there's a lot of turmoil taking place within our government, where a lot of dirty laundry of the government ministers are being aired. Some disturbing facts about these people that we have put into power are surfacing, and a few of them decided to bow out before the proverbial brown stuff hits the fan. But I don't believe that that is going to absolve them from their responsibilities. They're going to have to pay for their transgressions at some point. It's not for me to judge, but the law is the law, whether it's man's law or the Creator's law, and I believe that the Creator's law takes precedence over man's law at any point in time. Like I said, disturbing developments, and some information has been passing my way that some things that I believe it would be better left unsaid because of the repercussions of opening my mouth and saying things that just came to me as hearsay. I haven't had done the due diligence and research to base what was said to me on fact, but I can consider that the people that gave me such information as reliable. What information I'm speaking about? Like I said, developments within this country. You know, as we say in Trinidad, talk brings talk, and all you need to do is to start a conversation and you will get to find out everything that has been happening that has not been published on the news. All I can tell you is, for those of you who live and work in and around the Port of Spain area, just observe the atmosphere of the Port of Spain area. It has become very, very tense. The police presence is becoming more and more apparent. They are coming down very, very hard on transgressors of the law of the land, that is. Right now, more than ever, you're going to find that the vendors that you would have seen on the streets are basically in hiding because of whatever transpired at higher levels. The police have taken the necessary steps to curb quote-unquote illegal vending on the streets of Port of Spain. And the whole question of illegal vending is really up in the air there, because there are times when the powers that be will say yes, they can vend, and then they will say, yes, they can vend, but they would have to pay a subscription to be allowed to vend. And then someone else will come and say that, no, it's illegal, you cannot vend. So it's very disturbing and confusing as to what's going on. That is just one thing. I don't want to use speculation on my part or use my own opinions here. Honestly, I don't. But it's pretty obvious to me that the streets are being cleared for something. The police are being rigorous in their duties. Just a couple days ago, I was on my way to work when just in front of me, this police vehicle, it pulled up. That's on the Independence Square. And they dispersed right in front of me. They dispersed in one general direction, but from different angles. And I said to myself that they were about to take down someone. Well, at least take someone. So just taking a couple or a few more steps forward to where I was going, I observed that they in fact held someone. That people around, as I said, all you need to do is just stand and listen. They said that he was acting suspicious and holding his hip. Apparently he was carrying something, and the police in passing observed that behavior and they made an arrest. Apparently they did find something on him, whatever that thing was. Killings, there's a lot of killings taking place in the country. Apparently when the year 2014 started, immediately the body count was being published practically on a daily basis in the media. As of now, that practice has ceased because either they have lost count, or it just isn't news anymore, or because killings are becoming a daily thing here in Trinidad, and well, let's say Trinidad, because not much you hear in that term from Tobago, but basically in Trinidad and in northern part of Trinidad, a lot of killings, mostly young men of my descent, killing one another. It's really disturbing, and I will not speculate as to why this has been happening, but the reports coming in saying that there's a lot of relations to illegal activities such as drug activities and gang warfares and this sort of thing. It's really disturbing, and I keep using that word disturbing. It is, because as a citizen of this country, as a man, as a father, I am concerned for my children. I keep wondering what sort of future my children are going to see, where these sorts of activities are basically the norm. It's sort of in certain places excuse me, becoming much of a spectator sport. When people hear someone was shot in such and such area, everybody converge to that to see who was shot, why, exchanging stories as to why they think this person was shot, etc., etc. It's become a carnival in its own right, or a party in its own right. I think all this is very wrong. I would like to be a part of some sort of change in this country, but the only people that are constantly bombarding us with voices of change here are the politicians. And since my days at primary school, many of these people or these politicians, same politicians, are just regurgitating the same verbiage, the same stories, the same crap over and over every year, every election time. And instead of getting better, it's just getting worse. So I am looking forward to see what is going to happen when next an election comes around, because I have to say a lot of people will disagree with me, but we decided that it was time for a change. After X amount of years, we had one political party in power. We needed a change. We took on another political party and everything went downhill from there. So as far as I'm seeing on the ground, they are going to bring back in the original political party with the same people who were there just hanging on, waiting to come and take over this stuff again. And we have another set who has totally basically grounded the ship of state on their way out. They know that they are on their way out and they intend to go out kicking and screaming. But then what about the people? We had been promised governments for the people, of the people, by the people, which sounded really, really nice. But in full effect, it was just more words. We need to consider our youth. We have people who form many different types of groups because they want to help the youth. Not much really comes out of that, despite the amount of funding that may come from government and private sector to fund these projects. Not much comes out of it. Then there are the government programs where not many of the youth even trust these programs, but they will participate because sometimes there may be one or two of them who actually indeed are interested in learning these trades, whatever they are, and the others who just simply look at it as a form of income or stipend. It's really terrible. And like I said, the more that I learned, the quieter I got. But I think that as someone who considers himself as an ambassador for the Christ, an ambassador for the Messiah of the Bible, a watchman in a sense, that I should really speak and not only voice my opinion, which really doesn't matter, but what the words of the Creator in His Word, what He has to say about our time, our situation, and what advice we can seek from Him and from His Word that would help us along the way. Before leaving this reality, this world, someone asked, tell us, what is the greatest commandment? And he replied that the greatest commandment is that you love one another. If we look at our situation now, we'll see that there is no love, hardly any real love. And love encompasses a whole lot of stuff. In the New Testament, Brother Paul gives us a whole length of different things that encompass love. Love is kind, love is patient. And if we look, we will find that in our society today, we are hardly finding all these different elements that encompass love. My suggestion, albeit so humble, in beginning on a road to recovery, is that we look at this whole aspect of respect. Respect, which is also an aspect of love. Respect for one another. Respect for life. Because at this time we have no respect for life. Death is just a byproduct of living now, especially for young black men out here, where we sometimes look forward to seeing a young person that we might have seen born and grow up in our neighborhood. We pray to see them reach the age of 21. Many of our young brothers have been struck down by another young brother in the prime of their life. I myself had family members innocently struck down, never having lived to experience getting married, having children, raising their family. Their names simply just stopped. Their lineage stopped. Friends, I think it's my opinion, and I believe the opinion of the Creator, because it said it in His Word, that we should go back to loving one another, looking out for one another, protecting one another, protecting our families, protecting our communities, protecting our country. Because just look at what's happening in the outer world. When a country gets torn apart by the negative forces within its own borders, usually an outer force comes in and takes over, because you are so busy destroying one another that you didn't see someone who is not one of us come in and take over. And then these people are going to now give us new laws and new rules to live by, because we were too blind and stubborn to live by the ones that we made for ourselves, to govern ourselves, so that we can have a free and fair society for all. I'm probably not running in the correct circles, but I can tell you that I have not really heard in any open forum our national anthem being played or sang for a while. Our national pledge, most people probably don't even remember the words to our national pledge. I believe that our national pledge says a whole lot more than our national anthem. Whereas the national anthem just speaks about the country in general and nothing specific. Our national pledge reads, "I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I will honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders and my elders, and those in authority. I will be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. I will strive in everything I do to work for the benefit of my fellow men, of every creed and race, for the greater happiness of all, and the honor and the glory of my country. Words to live by. My friends, this is your internet friend, Richard. Thank you for listening, and until I see you again, take care of yourself, take care of someone else too.